So you've got the autumn jump starter at the back, which are taller, can you see? And then these are the late winter spring started. So they're a bit shorter and they're later, but I wouldn't be without doing 2 sowings. So save half your seeds in the packet, or put another packet on your list for the January shop. We'll have some new varieties for you. Super exciting. Here you go. So by comparison, these are the autumn jump starter. This is the bronze with white, isn't it? Lovely. So nice. So you can see how much bigger and how much further ahead they are. But I would not be without doing both the sowings, because I think that fresher flowers coming through a bit later is a really, really sensible idea. I'm all set up with my Snapdragons. Now they need light for germination, so it's a good idea to moisten your seed tray. Water it first before sowing any of the seeds, because you could accidentally push them below the soil surface into the darkness and then they won't germinate if you water them afterwards. So water your tray first. If you don't want to have a big tray, if you're short on space, Snapdragons don't mind being pricked out. Not all seeds will put up with being pricked out. Snapdragons are fine, so you can use a quarter cell, and again, you just want to make sure that you water this tray before sprinkling your seeds on top. In the handbook this year, under the shopping list, I have added that extra information about the quarter size cell seed tray. So I put an explanation there and the exact size of my seed tray. They're very common, so if you just put in quarter size seed tray, then you'll find that the descriptions come up and the measurements will be exactly those. Included the information about varieties that do not like root disturbance and things that prick out easily in the handbook. So for example, here's the Snapdragons, and I've said that they respond well to pricking out, but do wait until the seedlings are a lot less fragile. They take ages to grow, which is why the quarter cell trays are quite handy, because they're going to be there a long time before they need potting on. And those seeds that really don't like being pricked out, for example Nigella, they don't hold onto the compost well at all. So I've put here dislikes root disturbance. So we're sowing them this week while it's still lovely and warm, so I thought I'd mention those. So those need to go into your 40 cell trays ideally for the best results. There we go, the seed tray is nicely moistened, and I'm going to go with Mini Butterfly Bronze, I think, because I want lots of seedlings, because it's my absolute favourite. When sowing your Snapdragon seeds, just try and space them out as evenly as you can. As I say, I normally sow them in a 40 cell tray, but I just thought that for some of you who are a bit limited on space, this might be a little bit easier. So I'll do some as well, and then I'll be ready to show you how to prick them out later and show you at what stage that you prick them out as well, because that's quite important. There we go. So you can see that I'm spacing them as evenly as I can. Oops, that one's got stuck. And then I'm going to save the rest of the seed for sowing late winter. We'll keep those. And for those of you that love sowing in cells, I'm going to put our new Mini Butterfly Blush Snapdragons in a 40 cell tray. I think I'm going to sow them all because I want lots of these plants. But you can actually sow these over 3 sowings. So if you want to just do a third, you can sow some now, some in late winter and some very early spring, because they are quite short and quick to flower. So these will be the earliest Snapdragons you get to see next year. Just tipping them into my hand now. Because of the static, they do tend to get caught up in the creases. So now I'm just going to sow 1 seed per cell. I'm so excited that you've got these now. It's taken years and years to be able to get hold of the seed to put in our shop. Don't forget your label. They do actually look a little bit different to the other Snapdragons, but not until they get a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to leave both trays in the greenhouse in a nice, light, bright location and leave them to get on with it. And I just wanted to show you this container. So this is the new Mini Butterfly Snapdragon. I have been after these seeds for absolutely years. I was lucky enough to be sent a sample, and then we've had to wait for the seeds to be put into production, but they're finally here. I've got enough to share with you. So these you can actually sow 3 times if you want to. So autumn jump starter for the earliest flowers, then a late winter sowing, and then if you want to, you can do an early spring sowing to give you fresh plants into August, for goodness sake. That's normally when we say goodbye to the Snapdragons, and these are looking super duper healthy, aren't they? I absolutely love them. I can't wait to show you how to grow them. I thought I would pop 1 plant per 1 litre container, just so you could get a general idea as they grow how big they're going to get. So 1 seed will get as big as this, and they've only just started flowering, so they're just going to branch and flower and flower and flower. They can go anywhere you want in your garden, in your borders or in your patio pots. No staking is required. That's brilliant, isn't it?